Welcome to Echoes of the Arena. This is episode 15 entitled The Scholar Goalie. We're going to talk a little bit about the late, great Ken Dryden. Um, Dad, why don't you take it away? You were alive when he played. I
Yes,
was, I
yes,
was
I
not.
was. No, you were not.
Dating
I was
myself.
alive. I was actually in my senior year of high school, and the Buffalo Sabres were in their first year of existence.
Oh.
And at the time, like we spoke in previous episodes, I was obviously an immediate Sabres fan, being from Buffalo, but I was also a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, being in the Toronto area where we got the Montreal or the Toronto games on CBC and Hockey Night in Canada.
Mhm.
But when the Leafs weren't on, Hockey Night in Canada covered the Montreal Canadiens. And in 1971, um, late in the season, uh, they called up a rookie goalie by the name of Ken Dryden, who was a collegiate star at Cornell, and he
Which is
played
about, for reference, which is about 3 hours away from where we grew up.
exactly. Yeah. He played a mere 6 games in the National Hockey League, and the playoffs began. And because of his play in the final 6 games, he was chosen to be the starting goalie in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So the playoffs opened that year with Montreal playing the Boston Bruins, who were the favorites to win the cup. They were loaded. Bobby Orr still on the team, Phyllis Esposito, Jerry Cheever's goalie, Johnny Busick. So they had quite a juggernaut. The Canadians,
Canadians were pretty loaded.
well, the Canadians are very loaded, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But the um, the Canadians won the series in 7. It was a very exciting series. I do remember watching it. Again, the nice thing about living in Buffalo with access to the CBC, you got all the playoff games. So the uh, very competitive series. Montreal wins it in 7. Then Montreal needs to play the Minnesota North Stars, and they
Mhm.
won that series in 6. They proceeded to the final and were matched up against the Chicago Blackhawks with the likes of Bobby Hall, Stan Mikita
Damn
Donuts,
Makita Donuts.
uh, Keith Magnuson, one of their rough and tough defensemen, Pat Stapleton. The goalie was Bill Esposito's brother, Tony. So very good hockey team with a lot of ways to score. So um, once again, Dryden played some brilliant games.
Hmm.
Um, he was your classic stand-up goalie. From memory, he was at the time, I think he was one of the bigger goalies in the league. I
He was
believe he
six
was,
four.
yeah, he's six
So
four. Plus, he was thick.
it's my
He was very, very
anyway.
stout. So he took up a lot of net
Mm.
and played brilliantly in that series. And they win the series, win the cup, and that was the beginning of he won 6 cups with the Canadians.
Yeah, I found the list. Four in a row at one point.
4 in a row, yeah. What I must say, however, like you just alluded to earlier, Montreal had one of the probably best defense cores in the league at the time. So guys playing in front of Dryden were Guy Lapointe, Serge Savard, Jacques Laperriere, and Larry Robinson. So very good, solid defense core.
Was this after Bernie Jefferon?
This would have been after him. Yes,
After.
yes, yes. Um, so in I believe it was 73, the
Mm.
Dryden was in a contract dispute with the Montreal Canadiens and did not play that year and decided to go to McGill and get a law degree, which he did do. So and then came back, played, retired young. He retired at age 31 and got involved in many other pursuits. He got into broadcasting, and we remember him from what famous event, Matt?
Miracle on Ice game because,
Yes,
well, you remember him for the Miracle on Ice game. I was not
yes.
alive for a Miracle on
No,
Ice
you were
game,
not.
but
That's another thing you missed.
that's that's neither here nor there because I have seen it and I do remember him not stepping on Al Michaels' famous line, which I don't think I could say for many other color commentators these days.
Exactly. Uh, but so he was in broadcasting for a bit, and
Hmm.
then he was also I believe, and I haven't been able to locate this in research, so
We gotta.
don't take it as gospel, but I do
Hmm.
believe he spent a year or two as a principal at a secondary school in the Toronto area.
Huh.
Education was very important to him. He was also a writer. He wrote the quintessential hockey book, Matt, which you need to read if you haven't. I have it right
Oh, are you
here.
talking about the game?
It's called The Game. Did you read The Game?
I have not read the game.
I want to get into a little bit about the game because I think you would find it really interesting because you're into analytics.
Okay.
And even though I don't think he calls it analytics in the book,
Is
he's
it
talking about analytics as part of the book. He also talks about the culture of hockey, the importance of hockey to Canada, the sociology of hockey, and he he kind of it's an interesting book because it's a memoir, sort of, but there's so much other information in the book. I find the
right?
fascinating part of the book was that you played hockey, I played hockey, your sister played hockey. You don't spend a lot of time with the puck on your stick as
Correct.
a hockey player. You also possession, you don't spend possession changes and returns rapidly.
Hmm.
Um, Dryden was very critical, I guess, of what we see a lot now is, shoot the puck in, dump and chase.
Yeah, I've
Because
never been a
basically
huge fan of
you're
it.
more times than not, you're turning the puck over. So he was very critical of that. But what I find fascinating was his expose on talking about the puck possession for a player, which ironically, I was listening to a coach talk to a group of his players just recently online, and he was teaching his players what you should be doing when you don't have the puck. Connor McDavid, for example,
Hmm. Never
has
heard
the
of them.
puck the most of any player in the NHL.
Makes sense.
He has the puck between 3 and 4 minutes per game
That's it.
on his stick. So you've got a lot of time which you don't have the puck, but you got to be doing something. So anyway, Dryden talks about that. And it's something I never I never really thought about empirically until I read this book. So he's got a fascinating take on say things. Um, Furthermore, he was also a politician.
Hmm.
He was a member of parliament. He was also a cabinet minister. Uh, he did run for his party's
Leadership in
leadership.
2006.
Yes, yes, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. So, very, very multifaceted uh, man who was a great athlete, but he proved that you can do a lot with your life after you hang it up.
Or while you're playing.
Or while you're playing. He did it while you're playing. I know the one, while I was doing the research, a couple names popped up in my head, and I did a little research. Bill Bradley, who played basketball with
Hmm.
the Knicks, he was a senator, a U.S. senator, post basketball, graduated from Princeton. Somebody we were just talking about off the air, Mark Murphy, who became the president of the Green Bay Packers, who went to
Went
our
to the
high
same
school.
high school that we went to.
He was an attorney. He was an athletic director at both his alma mater, Colgate, and then Northwestern University before he became the president of the pack. He's a Super Bowl champion with the Redskins. So guys that did tons of probably more after they retired than when they were playing.
Now the Commanders.
Now the Commanders. Yes.
Yes.
So that's my take on Ken Dryden. And again, like you said earlier, he passed away last week,
Yep.
and he was an amazing athlete, joy to watch from my point of view. Um, I know Matt, you're probably tired of me hearing, or you're probably tired of me saying this, but I'm not a Gary Bettman fan, and I do believe
I'm not tired of hearing you say that at
Ken
all.
Dryden would have been a perfect
G
commissioner.
Commissioner for the NHL. Yes.
Oh, I did miss something. He was also the general manager of the Maple Leafs for a bit,
Served as president of the Maple Leafs in the late
or
90s.
president. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
He wrote other books too. Wrote The Home Game with Roy McGregor. Wrote The Moved and the Shaken and Game Change about concussions and head trauma in
oh,
hockey.
okay. There you go. So
So
yeah, he was
also ahead of his time
he
there.
was he was very much ahead of his time.
Guy that could, would you say, could transcend sport?
Yes, easily. Yes, yes. I would put him in there with like I said, Bill Bradley, Mark Murphy. There's a track a distance runner, Sebastian Coe from Great Britain, who became a member of Parliament after his competing days are over. You know, uh, these guys just did a lot
Would have been
after.
successful regardless of what they did.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
I believe his jersey is also retired by the Canadians.
Uh, I did not know that, but I would say that would be true.
Nope.
And
I believe that is accurate.
he went into the Hall of Fame in '83, by the way. So, um,
Mhm.
and really, I think, and looking back, again, I'm not going to say this was, um, I don't, it's fairly accurate, but I'm not sure it's 100% accurate. But I would say he was from probably the last of the really good stand-up goalies because the position, the way you play the position changed after he retired with the evolution of the mask and the butterfly and what have you. So there you go.
Ken Dryden's number was retired in 2007 by the Canadiens, number 29, and hit retired. Cornell retired his number one in 2010.
Hmm. I remember when I was at Cornell uh, watching one of the girls that played for us with the Buffalo Bisons.
Hmm.
She played for Cornell. And I remember being in the rink, and I would go around. They had team pictures of all the teams that had played at that played for that competed for Cornell. So I definitely searched out the one from the 1970 season to see Ken Dryden, and there he was, number one. So
Um, a couple of things that I thought were interesting when I was doing some of my research was, and I will see if I can find a picture of this to put up on our Facebook page after the show, but Ken was a little famous for leaning on a stick between plays,
yeah, yeah. He would rest on the top of the stick like this. It
which
was
tells you maybe everything you need to know about how good his teammates were, that he
I
had the
know.
ability
I
to do that
know.
for some time. Oh yeah, look at that. There's multiple pictures.
Yeah. Either he was doing that to just kind of take a break, or do you think he might have been
Little
staying in
gamesmanship.
the moment, or gamesmanship, or staying in the staying in the moment, or what have you? Because
It's interesting because in some of these pictures it might look that way, like he's trying to stay in the moment. I don't know. Some of them look like he's staying in the moment. Some of them look like he's
And the other problem, it might have just been a bad lower back. And he was kind of
That's true.
stretching the back during breaks.
There's some pretty sweet sticks in some of these pictures too.
But
A lot.
definitely it's definitely one of his trademarks. Yes, standing on the stick. I'd
One
pick
of
that up
these
right
he,
away.
a couple of these he had a Sherwood, and one of these he has a really sweet Canadian stick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to post some of these pictures. Oh, there's him on the cover of Sports Illustrated. February 14th, 1972.
Must have had that copy because I was a subscriber to the magazine.
Montreal's Golden Goalie. This is on the front page, on the cover of SI. Uh, and he was taken from us just recently. Um, unfortunately, these great players of your younger years are gonna continue to
Yeah. Yeah.
disappear, unfortunately. So, ooh.
And they were, well, as I said, that was I know we all have our fifth, obviously during our youth, we have our favorite players, like you have your favorite players. I
I
have my
do.
favorite players growing up. And again, a lot of my favorite players were members of the Leafs, but I also like Montreal. Because they were at the time, they were the Flying Frenchmen. Most of the team was French Canadian.
But you still liked Bobby Orr
And I
best.
do like, well, my favorite is Bobby Orr. I just thought Bobby Orr. And to this day, I would put Bobby Orr. I think Bobby Orr's game could transcend different eras because of his skating ability. He was just a marvelous skater and could do so many things that a defenseman didn't do back in the day.
Hold on, rapid fire. Better skater, Bobby Orr, Connor McDavid.
Oh, Connor McDavid, better skater. Having seen him in person, I saw Bobby in person when he played the Sabres,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You were the only
but
one who didn't
Connor
get to see
McDavid
both.
certainly is a much, well, not much better, but he's a better skater.
Also a product of better training, a
Better training, and
lot of better everything.
I've never seen an NHL player who was able to basically come over the boards, get on the ice, and in one stride, he's pretty much up to speed.
Full speed.
Yeah, and he's just blown by guys.
I'd like to
And
get a shot of him in shorts. I just want to
I
see what
know
those
he must
tree
have
trunks must look like.
he must have some quads. We were talking about who we were talking about last time. We were talking about um Marcel Dion and his legs.
Hmm.
If he was short of stature but had like tree trunks for legs
Hmm.
with massive calves. But I could imagine Con McDavid because he just flies. He's like a um uh self cycle because self he can cycle the puck himself.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen him go around the zone and then change direction, go around the zone until something opens up? So
He's got big legs, but they're not, I've seen bigger.
they're not like
It's
they don't.
got to be fast twitch muscle fiber,
Yeah, it has to be because
right?
he's not. Yeah, he doesn't have the bulk. He doesn't have the bulk that a lot of hockey players have.
Like, yeah, I found a picture of Connor Bedard's legs
Hmm.
bigger. When I saw Nathan Gerby at Panera, his
Hmm.
looked bigger, but he was also only like 5'5". Um, that picture of Martin St. Louis at his kid's hockey game.
Yeah, yeah. He had some
These
hot
short
legs.
guys, though, they gotta have tree
Rick
trunks.
Martin had a good set of legs. I saw him in golf. I saw him in golf shorts and um had some had some tree trunks. Gilles Perreault,
Yeah. So I
but
guess I'm a little surprised that they are bigger, but
well, he generates a lot of speed
he
from it.
generates a hell of a lot of speed from what he's got.
I think you're right as far as the fast twitch muscles, except the white fiber.
Hmm. So, anything else on Ken Dryden?
Uh,
Unfortunately, I didn't know
yeah,
much about the guy other,
I
what I
think
did
we've
a little
kind of
research.
I think we kind of exhausted what I have.
If
I'd
you
say
can
he was.
find, I will say this, if you can find some stuff about, if you can find videos of him speaking, they're worth listening to. He's a very well-educated guy, or excuse me, was a very well-educated guy. Could speak very eloquently about the game of hockey, but also the game of life. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Dad.
Oh, you're right. You're 100% right. And also, if you go back and listen to the voice track of the games that he did with Al Michaels
Mhm.
in the '80 Olympics, because he did all the hockey, obviously. So he did some of the earlier games, but they were showing. They only showed, I think, three games in their entirety. A lot of them were just highlights.
And you
Back
can
in the
hear him
back in the
color
day.
commentating that game
Mm.
in the movie Miracle,
Yes, you
because
can.
they do use the original track, I think.
But I think he brought a lot of the information he put into the book that he wrote, the game. He also
Mhm.
used that same style of inquiry and talking about the game within the game when he did
Mhm.
his analysis of games. So he was ahead of his time. So I equate him, and you and I know what I'm talking about. I equate him with like what Tony Romo does on the NFL broadcasts, where he knows what's coming
Bring
before
an
it
education to the
happens,
game.
and Ken Dryden knows, he knows why things happen or what might happen, and um, though I think he was as surprised as all of us were when we beat the Soviets
Mhm.
in the semis, but I don't think he was as shocked as a lot of people. I think he saw the fact that the team was well prepared for that game. And they kind of did everything right. They
Mhm.
kind of didn't make any mistakes in that game. And yeah, and granted, and he was good because being a good goalie, he was able to get inside Jim Craig's head. And obviously, and they also played a very similar style,
Right.
Ken Dryden and Jim Craig. So,
Stand-up goaltenders.
stand-up
When
goalies, yeah.
the era of stand-up goaltenders was
Hmm.
entering its final phase, really. Um,
Yeah,
we're
because he
gonna
wore that mask that was kind of close to the face and
mhm,
only had like sponge sponge rubber between
on the
the
inside.
fiberglass in your face. And I don't know if you remember him, but I had a customer at the Bills locker room who played hockey for BU, a goalie. Remember Bob Wells? Do you remember him?
Mhm.
He was a goalie for BU, and he wore that similar mask. And he said it was and he actually brought it in one day, and it would stop a puck from fracturing your cheekbone, your face, but it would cut you underneath the mask. So if you took a shot off the mask, there's a good chance you're going to get some stitches. So that's the reason that, the butterfly had not been adopted yet.
Adapted yet. Yeah.
Because now the masks are away from the face and goalies take it off. They
Right up the
knock it a
dome.
lot.
Yeah. Um, we're gonna switch gears over to so we are taping on a Saturday evening. We had quite a game about 6 days ago. Um, Bills Ravens. So we wanted to do a little bit of a debrief on such a hectic, crazy game. Just looking at the win probability of that game is frankly hilarious. As you can see through the first quarter how we had the better probability, and then it just went away and got as high as 99.1 or 98.9% to Baltimore,
Right, right.
and then things just fell apart. On the Ravens side, although I would say defensively, neither team looked very good. Pretty, pretty poor.
No, and I'm a little I'm getting ahead of myself. So I'll reverse course in a minute, but I'm a little one thing the Jets do have is a pretty good running game.
Yeah.
So, and that's tomorrow. So, and we're without our
The one
Um,
defender who I thought played really well,
our best defender, yes,
Matt Oliver. So
at Oliver.
gonna have to
So
see some folks stepping up there.
that well, it's next man up. Isn't that what they all say? So
That's what they
there you
say.
go.
Um, Josh Allen, very pedestrian fourth quarter, only throwing for 251 yards. Um, give me your,
Yes.
yeah, it's a tale of two halves, but the first half was really like the first quarter, and and then it was a lot of Ravens for almost
Almost what, two and a
you're
half?
into the fourth quarter. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're well into the
yeah.
fourth quarter.
Because comeback didn't start till what? With 4 minutes to go in the game?
4.5 minutes left. They were still down 15. Um, but yeah, very hectic comeback.
Well, it all
Whoever
goes to show you play the game
for 60
for
minutes.
60 minutes and sometimes it's one break will get you back in a game. And the fumble by Derrick Henry,
Also,
forced by Ed Oliver.
I was gonna say I don't call that a break. They made their own break there
Yeah.
because
It
Ed
was a
punched that ball out.
it was a great hit, and it was square to the body, punched the ball out. Bernard was good at this, was on the ball, and that was what we needed. And so that's why you play for 60 minutes. And you know, yeah, 15 points is a lot of points, but it is doable in 4 minutes.
Mhm.
And Josh was able to do it.
We were able to put it together when it counted. So we were pleased to see that. Did you stay up for the whole game?
I did. I did.
Okay.
I was
You did text me. That's right.
ecstatic. Yes, I
I'm
was
I,
ecstatic at the end. I text you also, and I text a few other of our friends, and I'm saying, uh, I was a big question mark. What did I just witness? What did I just see?
that's
Is
funny.
this a
You did text
dream?
me that.
Did this actually happen? Because this was absolute crazy ending.
It was loopy. It
It was
was all over
loopy,
the
and it
place.
was,
That game was drunk.
you bring in a kicker 72 hours earlier.
Hmm. Then
Uh,
then to end the game, then you get this play that rarely ever happens on the last play of the game, where you've got a field goal on a running clock,
Yeah, yeah.
where
Well,
you
they had to
have to snap it at the right time, but then you blow an assignment and a guy gets a piece of the ball, but it still
hmm
goes through.
Yeah. They,
Oh,
we obviously we had no timeouts, right?
they had no
So,
timeouts. We had no
yeah,
timeouts.
so we had enough time when he on the previous play to just do what we had to do.
I think that has to be one of the most stressful situations because there's nothing you can do to stop the clock. Even a false start, the clock would start to run again.
Exactly. And I don't know what I got to give full credit to, our long snapper. I think you're a long snapper there.
You got to look up,
Not only you
no.
got to know the clock, you got to get the ball back.
Okay, I see it go three, and then it looked like he was looking up three. Now I'm snapping it because the ball snaps at two.
Yes. Yes. So everything had to be, everything had to go right,
Mhm.
and it did for the most part.
In that
And
quarter, yeah.
they got the field goal, and it was a crazy, crazy finish. Great comeback. I also want to just make note of, I think we're seeing the reason that we drafted Keon Coleman.
Mm.
He had what, 7 catches?
8 catches for
Eight
112 yards
catches.
and a
Yeah.
touchdown. That touchdown was a deflection that at least he threw it in an area with a lot of our receivers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, he did have some big plays otherwise, though. I think some big third down catches. Also had the play that near the end of the game that got them well in field goal
Well,
range.
Palmer, the throw to Palmer was a beautiful
The throw
throw.
to Palmer was a great throw, but the throw that he got tripped up before he
Oh
scored.
yeah, yeah. Keon Coleman, yeah, yeah.
But remember, Coleman is going to, we need to ignore anything we hear regarding Coleman and horizontal separation as far
Hmm.
as
Hmm.
speed. And remember that his separation is physical.
Right,
Plays
right.
above the rim, he can get separation with his arm length
He's a very good basketball player. So yes,
and
he has
can
that
box people
rebounding.
out. He knows how to, yes.
He has that rebounding pedigree, and uh, they were breaking down. I was watching ESPN the day after, and Orlowski was breaking down the pass he made, throw he made to Palmer. How just Josh is so
That is a throw that nobody else
in
can make.
tune to
Very few
make.
other guys can
Oh
make
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, it was a very difficult
That's like
throw
a Mahomes and Josh throw.
because he dropped it right in there perfectly, and it caught Palmer in stride.
Well,
So,
dropped it in there, but it wasn't like you're just dropping it in there. He was dropping it in there 25 yards downfield.
oh yeah, well, it had some zip on it. It definitely had zip on it, but just the way he knew what was coming as far as the coverages, because what they were doing on the other side of the formation,
Hmm.
and just you know, we're seeing Josh now being probably one of the better schooled quarterbacks now as far as reading defenses. Um, lucky to have him.
I believe he's thrown for over 35,000 yards now.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. Let me
He
look
also
that
broke
up.
Thurman Thomas's touchdown
Yes,
record,
talk
right?
about that, Dad, because he broke the
Yeah.
team record for touchdowns by someone who is already in the Hall of Fame.
Well, Thurman was my guy. He was a good friend of our
Leonard.
good friend Leonard Smith, and but Thurman was, I think, just one of the. I think he's one of the, I would say, top 10 running backs that were also very good receivers.
I
And
said that the other day to somebody.
what did you? Yeah,
I
yeah.
said I think he's at. Oh, I said it to Jen. Jen and I were talking about. I had said that Allen broke Thurman Thomas's record, and I said, by the way, Thurman Thomas is like a top 10 running back
Oh, easy,
all time
easy, easy.
because
And he
he
also
was
was
Marshall Faulk before Marshall Faulk.
exactly, yeah. And he also was a guy who was able to never take a direct hit.
Hmm.
He was very good at eluding. He would get a lot of glancing blows and what have you, but very seldom would he take a direct hit. And ironically, he was drafted out of Oklahoma State when he was injured. He was injured his senior year, couldn't play.
Hmm.
But I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Maddie, but I think he did not have a serious injury with the Bills, right?
No, not
He was
until
fairly healthy
yeah, he never took a
his
big
whole
hit.
career.
He was able to never take a big
Yeah,
hit. I was incorrect. It was 30,000 career passing yards if
30
you
yards.
include postseason.
So that's number
Um,
one with the Bills.
no, well, that's a great question. I thought it was like in the top 70 all time, or maybe in the top 60 all time. Um, for someone who just turned 29.
Oh, okay. He is young yet.
So yeah, he surpassed 30,000 yards with the 394 yard performance against the Ravens,
Most of which were in the fourth quarter.
most of which were in the fourth quarter. That fourth quarter alone would have made him one of the top five passers of the day, I believe, because only two or three players threw for over 300 yards. Any other thoughts on the Bills? I know we're both concerned about the defense.
Yeah, I think the defense needs to have a better game tomorrow. I would be much happier if the Bills can keep the Jets under 20 points. I think if the Bills keep the Jets under 20 points, they should win the game. I mean, they're going to score. The Bills are going to score, but you
Being
know,
without Ed is going to be a chore. They
it'll be
might
a
get
chore.
Trey White back tomorrow.
But
Um,
yeah, so I think we're not alone. I think most of Bills Mafia would want
feel
to
that
see the
way.
Bills put up a good defensive game tomorrow,
Mhm.
and because definitely the Ravens exposed our three technique. I'm sorry, our one technique, our
Our
three
one
technique,
technique and our
but
safety play.
and our safety play. Yes, I'm
And
a little concerned.
we are seeing Jordan
All right.
Poyer's getting more reps in practice.
Yes, yes. I tell you one thing, if Jordan Poyer can move,
He'll be
I
on the
get him on the
field.
field. I really would. I'd get him on the field.
As soon as he's in game shape, they might have to.
Um, Question for you, even though it's not Bills
Mhm.
related, but I want to get your feedback from this because I've heard a lot of the experts say things that ex-players especially, which I find fascinating. Your thoughts on does Russell Wilson start tomorrow, or what about Jackson Dart?
Well, I just saw an article that said that Giants in no rush to rush Jackson Dart. Oh, okay, well, if anyone's in a rush to keep their job, they might want to think about it
Yes.
because I think they're at the end of their, they have reached the end of their ropes. Uh, I think both Joe Schoen and
Brian Dable.
Brian Dable.
Yeah.
With the Giants, I don't know. I don't know what the expectation is when you bring a guy like Russell Wilson in, who's already kind of proved that he's toast.
Yeah, I think he proved that after the after last season. I think he proved that
I thought he proved that after maybe the season before
or maybe
that.
the Denver Bronco experiment,
Yes,
yeah, with
that,
Sean Payton.
yes, yeah.
I thought he's definitely slowed down in Matt's league.
Hmm.
You talked about it regarding the game during the COVID year when they played the Bills. He's never been the same since that
No,
game.
maybe it's irony that it worked out that way, but he was having a really great year, and then I want to say he was sacked 7 or 8 times in a game against us, and was really physically tossed around
Hmm.
in that game. And I think we beat them pretty handily. I think they scored late and made it look closer than it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
But he's never been the same player since.
I
Maybe they
agree.
broke him. I don't know. But I would think he's made more than enough money to
Well, I think he's made more of
a
enough money.
year.
I really think he's I don't know where he's at.
I don't know what he's doing because what is he chasing another ring? He's already got 2 rings.
Well, I know, and I know, and I don't know. Like, if you watch his post-game press conference last week, I don't know what he was talking about. He was using just cliches,
Doesn't that prove that maybe
but the
he's been
cliche
knocked around too much?
that could be, but
Because he's
the cliches didn't fit. It didn't
what he
fit
was talking about was not what was actually happening on the field.
because he's talking about how their compete level was so high. They got 3 points.
Yeah.
That's
That's
not
not
compete
going to
level.
win, and that's never going to win this league.
So I don't know. I don't know. I just think, and I know they have a very unhappy wideout in Neighbors.
Yeah.
So, um,
Well, I could tell him that.
yeah. So I think I think I think they already have a quarterback controversy after week one, but I don't know. We'll
Hmm.
see. We'll see tomorrow. I don't know who they play tomorrow, but the the Packers looked good the other night.
And that trade, the Micah Parsons trade, looks dumber by the minute.
Oh, it
And
does.
it
It
looked
does.
pretty damn dumb right off the rip. If Tennessee is giving UGA this kind of run, maybe the loss to Tennessee wasn't that bad.
I know. I know. No, I don't think it was.
They did go and have
Because
to
they
go to
are a good team.
OT.
Tennessee's a good team.
They did SU did have to go to overtime to go then beat UConn.
Yeah. Yeah. They beat up on
Colgate.
Colgate last night. I watched that game.
Yeah.
Um, Watched their plethora of quarterbacks. Starter looked good. The kid from
And
Notre Dame that
Stephen
came
Riley.
from Notre Dame, and the kid from LSU.
Did they both play?
Yeah, they both played quite a bit. But I think
I didn't catch the
the
game.
fourth quarter they were playing so much. They were playing their third teamer.
Hmm.
But yeah, this game's been really good. This looks like it's going to go to OT. Um,
Who's got the ball?
uh, Tennessee. I mean, although where is the ball?
It's at the
Is
UGA 24, I think.
no. Oh,
This game might be about to end.
might be about to end now. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, the fans look happy, so maybe they're expecting that field goal. Is that the kicker right here?
No pressure.
all the years I watched Tennessee football, I don't know when they started doing that, but did you notice the stands that that's also checkerboard?
Yeah.
That's
I don't know how
never
they get
noticed
that
that
done.
before. So I guess if you're sitting in section, so and so, you got to wear orange. Eh?
Uh,
But
yeah. I would say to answer your question, they probably should be starting Jackson Dart, provided I don't know what their this being the Giants. I don't know what their offensive line looks like. Are they, if they're in a place where they can protect him effectively so they can actually determine if he's an effective quarterback? Because it seems like how many of these guys get thrown out there to the wolves with an
yeah,
offense that can't really protect them and doesn't play to their strengths.
right, right. Um, and nor do I think they have a great running game. So when you got a young quarterback, you really want that running game. He has a weapon in Neighbors, but he doesn't have a lot of weapons. So you know, it would be it'd be tricky. Um, but we'll have to see. It'd be interesting.
Yep. All right. So I think we're gonna call it an evening here. Um, did you? So we want to rest in peace, Ken Dryden. Passed away, say about a week ago. That right?
Yep, it was
Oh,
last week. I think I
last week.
saw it.
Great ambassador, ambassador for the game of hockey. Great goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. Stellar college goaltender for Cornell University, and all around modern day Renaissance man, I would say.
Sums it up. That's
All
pretty
right.
accurate. Yes.
So for Greg, I am Matt, and we'll see you the next time around on Echoes from the Arena.
Good night.